So, we got a very surprising trailer reveal from the Game Awards last night. And it's from my favorite company, FromSoft. I cannot believe that they dropped this on our laps. Crazy. And at the Game Awards, no less. But they announced a new Elden Ring title, and it's called Night Rain. However, it's not like your typical Souls-like, all right? So, I just wanted to make a quick video on it, and we'll go over the trailer, and then some information I've gathered across various mediums. But let's go ahead and hop right into it. But please, don't forget to like and subscribe. All right, let's watch. I had to record a video even though I'm sick as fuck. So fucking excited. Beautiful. Right off the bat, so one thing I noticed right away. So I don't know if this is just like pre-baked cinematics, which it probably is. But if this is in-game graphics, this is completely different from FromSoft's typical Elden Ring graphics. Like, this is much more high res. So I was wondering if, you know, because I've heard rumors that they were working on, well, not rumors, actually. I read in an interview that Miyazaki had some of his team members work on Unreal games to kind of train on the Unreal Engine. And I was wondering if this is their first foray into the Unreal Engine, but I can't find any information anywhere about what engine they're using. From what it seems like, it's still their same the same engine that they use in Elden Ring. Because even on the Steam page, it doesn't say anything about it. I don't see this listed in the Epic's game store, so which I would expect if it's an Unreal game. So I think it's still their regular engine. So this is probably like pre-baked cinematics. But anyways, let's continue. Just an observation I had. Looks like a variation of Limgrave. Bandai Namco. I was flipping out when I saw this. Unexpected, man. FromSoftware. Let's go, baby.
Seekers of redemption.
So right here already, immediately we know that it's a much faster paced game. So this part here is interesting. So this is either like Zelda, it was reminding me of like a Zelda game, or a battle royale where you drop into the map. How cool would that be, an Elden Ring battle royale? Look how good this looks. Oops. See right here, like these graphics are significantly higher quality than, you know, the base game Elden Ring. So that's what made me start suspecting that this was like Unreal, but I can't find any information on it. Dude, grappling hook. Look at these moves, man. This is definitely more action focused. Look, we got a firekeeper.
And for that, I need your help.
So we're noticing we're seeing different classes. So this is going to be a warrior class. We just saw archer class. Got a mage. There's this nameless king. So that's from another Souls game. And I did read about the director of this game did an interview on their Japanese site for Night Rain, and he did mention we're gonna see enemies and bosses from other Souls titles. We got a parrying there, Sekiro parry.
I will swat away any and all who dare approach.
This looks so badass. It's like Elden Ring Monster Hunter.
Band together and prepare to claim. The life of the Night Lord.
This is 100% a roguelike. I'm so ready for this. I'm not even a fan of roguelikes, and I want to play this really bad.
Elden Ring Night Rain.
Oop. All right, let's get out of there. And I wanted to show some other things real quick. So this is what's under Bandai Namco.eu. So you got some more information here. I'm not going to go over all this. You guys can come here and read it too. There's more information on the .jp version of this site. But yeah, you can find various info about it here. Let's see. And then I wanted to go look at this one. So apparently FromSoft invited some people to playtest this game already. They played about 6 hours of it. And this gentleman from PC Gamer has a video on it, so go check that out. And he goes into way more detail about his experience with the game and some words from the director. The thing I wanted to point out is that Elden Ring Night Rain is not directed by Miyazaki. Rather, it's directed by a gentleman who was a battle director on Elden Ring. And his name is Junya Ishizaki. So yeah, he was a battle director on Elden Ring. And basically he had all these ideas for changing up the gameplay in Elden Ring. So Miyazaki is letting him direct the spin-off, which sounds interesting, which is also why we see that the movement looks very different in the trailer. But yeah, this isn't Miyazaki. This isn't a Miyazaki work. So that's going to be interesting to see how that goes. Also, what I know about the game is that this is going to be a standalone game. So you're not. It doesn't require you to own Elden Ring. It's going to be a completely separate game in itself. And they're claiming it's not going to be live service. But I mean, it's a roguelike, and they plan on adding more classes and bosses and enemies and probably maps too. So I don't know how they're going to do that, if it's all going to be free or if it's just going to be DLC that we pay for. But it's leaning towards a little live servicey, just to be honest. I don't know how to feel about that yet. I mean, it's still way too early to pass judgment. The other thing is it's being a roguelike. I typically do not like roguelike games. So if this wasn't an Elden Ring title, I probably would not be interested. So if this game doesn't get me to like a roguelike, then it's going to be pretty much the nail in the coffin for me in roguelike games. If I don't enjoy an Elden Ring version of it, I'm not going to like any roguelike game. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts about that. But yeah, so you're going to have different class systems. Obviously, we saw like a warrior class. We saw a tanky class. There was looked like that lady looked like either a caster or probably like your rogue class. And what's interesting is you can revive down teammates in this, and the way you do that is by hitting them. So that's a pretty interesting mechanic. Maybe they're surrounded by enemies and you do like an AoE attack with your friend, and that's how you revive him while also taking care of the enemy. So that's an interesting design. But you do respawn if you can't get revived by a teammate. But you just have to run back and get your runes. But what I heard also was that enemies can pick up your runes. So if the enemy picks up your runes, you have to hunt that enemy down to get your runes back. But yeah, also, this is supposed to be like a 3-day and night cycle. The daytime's going to be where you and your teammates run around and find loot and try to level up as fast as you can. And then by the time the night cycle hits, what's going to happen is a boss is going to spawn in your team. You guys are going to have to fight a boss. And then the cycle's going to repeat to the next day for 3 total. And from what I gather, it's one complete 3-day and night cycle. Is going to take about 45 minutes. So expect about an hour for each run. And of course, you're just like any other roguelike, your skills and stuff are going to reset, but you do carry over with you relics, which are like stat boosting items. So you'll have that to look forward to in your subsequent playthroughs. There's also a little there's a bit of confusion about whether or not the map's going to have any type of randomization. One thing that's certain from the playtest is that the loot's going to be varied. So you're going to get different loot. That's going to be randomized. And it's going to be like your typical roguelike loot, like your Destiny loot or even like a Diablo loot system where it's just going to have random stats. And they're not always going to be the same type of loot in the same location. So we do have that much confirmed from the playtest is that the loot will be randomized. The director of this game apparently says there's also going to be some world elements modifiers that are going to change. So expect things like poison swamps or cursed pools and things like that. However, this gentleman from PC Gamer said, and within his playtest, he didn't experience any of that. He said the map was basically the same. So we still have to find out more information on that as it comes out. Okay, and the last bit of info. This is going to be a 3-player co-op, and there's not going to be any invasion, so there's no PvP in this game. Although I think if they implement that in the future, that'd be very, very interesting mechanic to add a PvP system into it. Imagine invading people in a roguelike, in an Elden Ring roguelike. I think that would cause like all kinds of chaos and would be pretty fun. But as it stands now, the director said there's going to be absolutely no PvP. But we don't know. I mean, FromSoft has been surprising us the past year, so they could add it in the future. Who knows? But yeah, this is a very, very, very interesting announcement. A complete surprise. I'm happy that we're getting more Elden Ring stuff. But on the other hand, I'm kind of apprehensive because it's a roguelike. And, roguelikes, like I mentioned, are very susceptible to being live servicey. But, I have faith in FromSoft. So I have faith that FromSoft's not going to do that to us. I mean, I do think that we should fully expect to pay for DLCs for the game. But yeah, I am super looking forward to giving this a try. I got to find some friends to play with. Although they did say you do have the option to solo it for extra challenge, but it's really designed around co-op. But me, I like a challenge, so I am going to try to solo it as well. But yeah, I am looking forward to bringing some friends into the Elden Ring world and have some good times with them on this. The other last bit of info that I want to mention is that there's going to be more classes. I think you start out with 8 classes, and there's going to be more coming. So it's going to be interesting to see what goes on there. And supposedly, you're not like super locked into one type of build. Depending on the loot you get, you're going to be able to kind of vary your build. So it's not going to be strictly like a mage class, a warrior class, a tank class. I mean, there's going to be some variation depending on how you build them out. But it's not going to give you complete freedom over it like any of the other Souls titles. Also, the leveling system is going to be a little different. Apparently, when you level up, what it's going to do is just going to allocate the stat points for you. So let's say like that glass cannon mage class, it's always going to have lower HP than the rest of the classes because your stats are going to be allocated to your intelligence. So that's what it sounds like. That's how that system sounds like it's going to work. But anyway, yeah, if you guys want to go over this info yourself, I mean, you can go on to Bandai Namco's site itself about Night Rain. There's a bunch of info there. If you go to the Japanese site, there's even an interview with the director that you can find and get it translated. You can go to PC Gamer for this gentleman's take on the game, and he played 6 hours of it, so he has a great video on it as well. But anyways, that's all for this video. I'll make more videos as more information about this game comes out. I'm super excited for it. A little apprehensive, like I said, because it's a roguelike, and only because of the live servicey possibilities of it. But again, I have faith in FromSoft. I have faith that they're not going to do that to us. But yeah, let me know your thoughts below. Are you guys excited for this, or are you guys apprehensive about it? Anyway, please, if you enjoy this type of content, don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate it. Until next time, take care of yourselves.